Right after I got the South Bend 9-inch lathe together and up and running, I built this little shelf. It goes over a backsplash behind the lathe. And it's mostly to organize the tools and tool holders and stuff, and it really just kind of attracts crap. So the first step in organizing it is designing a better way to store all these tool holders. I took the route of going into Fusion 360 and designing one in CAD first. It's a pretty simple and basic design, but you'd be surprised how many iterations I went through to get it there. I put the STL file for it up on Thingiverse. You can go check it out there. There's a link in the description if you'd like to 3D print one yourself, which is exactly what I did. When I originally reviewed this 3D printer, I had a lot of issues with it, and I told you in that video that if I ever got them fixed or got it running better, I would give you updates and share that with you. Well, consider this that. I've actually had some pretty decent success with it. After quite a bit of fiddling around, I found out that one of the Z-axis stepper motors had a poor connection in it, and I've been using blue tape on the print plate. It works better than whatever came with it. I also blocked the fan on the extruder head that was cooling down the nozzle too fast. Anyway, I've had a number of successful prints with this, and I thought I would at least share that with you, that this printer works with a lot of tinkering. 3D printing is a little bit like wood in that the layer height can be like the grain, so I printed it flat to make sure that it didn't have inherent weaknesses going straight up and down. I designed the two holes to hold number 6 screws, and a number 8 will also fit in there, but number 6 was the right length I could find at my local hardware store. After getting a pile of those holders printed up, I could now attack the shelf in a way that would allow me to keep it organized and clean, at least to the best of my abilities. It's actually pretty embarrassing how junky I let it get. The bracket holding the shelf up, too, was really subpar. It was something that was left over in the shop from when I renovated it, so I installed a better steel one. These pins I was using to hold the tool posts were a really bad idea. They could scratch it up, and they're not very secure, so don't ever do anything like that. It was pretty easy to get everything organized with just some basic layout work. I had originally traced the dovetails just to kind of see what I was looking at, and then I used the tool holders themselves to actually space the posts apart so I can get them as close as possible without them being tight or rubbing each other or anything. A lot of these tool holders have different sizes and widths, so it was important to kind of get them in order of use. I went pretty gingerly when installing all the screws, but I was surprised how much torque the posts could take. I didn't have any creaking or cracking when I tightened them down, and they don't really wiggle or anything. It's a nice fit, and they're surprisingly solid. So there's a link in the description to the 3D printing file. You can print it out if you've got a printer, or you can take it to a makerspace, or even just make one out of any material you can think of. Or if you'd like, you can send me an email, practicalrenaissance@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to sell you a set that I 3D printed. Anyway, this was a fun little project that was a great design exercise and will hopefully help keep my shop a little cleaner. Thank you for watching.